Hello, my Bill 5000 Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, I hope it gets better from here. We are back with another That Chapter. This one is titled The Disturbing Case of Natalie Bollinger, I think. I'm not good with names, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll get there eventually. All right. I'm excited for today's story. If you guys are excited as I am, please go ahead. Turn them lights down low, put on something comfy, cut up with something special. Oh, let's get intrigued. This is oof. Oof. Oof.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this old video, when a teen went missing right after Christmas, people thought they had it figured out almost instantly. 2 weeks before she disappeared, she had posted on Facebook about a stalker who would simply not leave her alone. So people pretty quickly put two and two together.
Natalie Bollinger is missing.
What investigators didn't know, however, was that a deeper look into her digital presence would reveal she had posted on Craigslist. The post was titled, "I want to put a hit on myself." Did she? Before we get into it, please click that dirty little subscribe button to see new videos every single week. Now, let's give it a go.
Why would you want to put a hit out on yourself? People be weird,
our story
bro.
today takes place in Broomfield, Colorado. Picture.
Is this a first for this channel, though? I mean, normally we hear about like people taking hits out on other people, not themselves. I think this might be a first for this channel. Someone mark it down on their calendar. I'll give you a second. There we go.
Place, if you will, situated right smack dab between Denver and Boulder. The population is pretty small, if you can believe that, just short of 73,000 people and 63 parks to boot. It is home to a 9/11 memorial in which a piece of the steel beam from one of the Twin Towers is displayed. And that is the home for today's story. Not the steel beam. Natalie Bollinger and her twin sister Alicia were born on February 24th, 1998, in Westminster, Colorado. Westminster is like the next city over from Broomfield. Natalie was the daughter of Rose and Ted Bollinger. Rose was a young mother, just 19 years old when she had the twins, and it seems like their upbringing in Colorado was kind of like a little bit rough. There was allegations of abuse, drugs, alcohol, all that kind of stuff. In fact, when Natalie and her twin Alicia were quite young, Rose couldn't hack it anymore. She left. She went to Rhode Island, to where her own family were from. She had to just get away from Ted and everything. She wouldn't even see her kids for a couple of years. It was reported that Rose only went back to Colorado when she learned that Ted was in fact being sent to prison, and then she was granted custody, and she took her two young daughters back to Rhode Island with her, where they grew up for a few years, and the two twins, Natalie and her sister Alicia, actually learned they had a new little brother too. They grew up in Rhode Island in this whole blended family type dealio thing.
What? So she dipped out on her family for a couple of years and just started a whole other family? Oh, damn. I don't know, man. Like, I understand not wanting to be with your whoever, your baby daddy, baby mama, or whatever the case may be, but just to dip out on your own fucking kids for a couple of years? And then come to find out, like, you've been familying it up with another child. Like, what kind of shit is that, man? Like, if I was one of the two original kids, and then, like, to be like, oh, you just dipped on us, left us there, our dad went to prison, and now you're back to get us because you have no other choice, and come to find out you got a whole other family, I'd be like, fuck you, bro. Hell no.
Bob. Natalie was described as just a kind, loving girl who loved nature and animals and believed that everyone should be treated with kindness, regardless if it was deserved. She was a creative at heart, and an artist too, as soon as her toddler hands were able to hold a crayon. She completed her high school diploma through a blended learning program called Pathways in Colorado, and she moved in with her grandparents in that state, and she went on to enroll in college to become a registered nurse. She had bright plans for the future.
Hell yeah.
Now, back when Natalie was just 17 years of age, she was walking down the street one day when she came across a homeless person just lying, sitting on the curb, and this homeless guy seemed like he needed help and was just being ignored by everybody. And again, going back to Natalie's kind of belief that every single person should be treated with kindness, she went over, she took pity on him, and she just started, yapping away with him, shooting the shit, struck up conversation. They quickly became friends, and she was just in awe of his life story. And soon after, they added each other on good old Facebook. She was able to offer this guy an ear and a friend, be a friend to somebody who was in need, and she would help him out when she could, take him out to lunch, drive him to places he needed to go, all that sort of thing. This man was Shawn Schwartz. Natalie was half his age, yet this initial meeting led to an obsession for Shawn. What seemingly started as a connection over mental health and just kindness quickly turned scary for Natalie. Over the course of the next 2 years, they would continue to talk via Facebook. Shawn's comments an obsession with...
See, sometimes you just cannot be nice to people. And I hate to say that, but I mean, look, that's not safe. And all she was trying to do was be nice, give a shoulder to cry on, someone to listen to. A lot of times that's all somebody really fucking needs sometimes when they're having it hard. It's just somebody to sit down, listen to them. And then sometimes, like, while you're talking it out and people are actually listening to you, you can think clearly because it's not just jumbling up in your head. You know what I mean? And then just like her niceness be taken all misconstrued as, and now I guarantee you this dude did something with his obsession.
Natalie kind of continued to escalate, and eventually Natalie just needed to get away from Colorado. She went to Virginia, where her mom Rose was now living, because that's where she would go to her mom, when things were getting tough. And Shawn followed her, so he went from sweet to creep real fast. He refused to leave, even went so far as to honking down on the horn non-stop to try and get her attention. Rose would have to come out of the house and be shaking her fist at him, telling him to get lost. And the cops were even called on him. And this...
Yeah, damn kids, get off my lawn type shit, huh? Man, that's awful. Poor young things shouldn't have to grow that old so fast.
This was the pivotal event that Natalie decided to step back from the friendship and stop conversing with Shawn. To Shawn, this was as pleasant as a wet fart, and so he decided to take to social media to just trash Natalie and her character and kind of calling her all sorts. He was basically just ranting to himself. At some point, the harassment and stalking forced Natalie to get a restraining order against him, and she posted on Facebook on December 13th, 2017, warning other friends and those close to her of the situation. She was very open about threats to her family from Shawn, and how he would forever sleep himself if she never spoke to him again, and she wasn't planning on speaking to him again. Hey y'all, I have a public announcement. There is a man named Shawn Schwartz. I met this man when I was young. I ran into him about 2 years ago. Long story short, I became friends with him. He sent emails for over a year close to every day, harassing me, making numerous accounts until I block him again. I'm sharing this because he's posting slander about me all over Facebook. So if you receive a message, I am sincerely sorry. Please ignore him. He's mentally ill and I'm trying to fix this.
I better say, bro, there was more than one person talking in my head. And I got scared, man. Oh, shit. I thought I was going crazy.
It was Christmas 2017 that Natalie and her boyfriend, Joey, would go on to share the holidays with her family without issue. No doubt hoping to put this whole Shawn fiasco behind her.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, things would only get much worse.
Usually
on December 28, 2017, Natalie was at home all morning by herself. Her boyfriend, Joey, he was up and out to work like mad early at about 6 a.m. He said he spoke to Natalie twice that day via text, once at around 9 a.m, once at about 1 p.m. He got home then to their apartment at around 3:18 p.m, and the apartment was empty, and he reported her missing right then and there. Natalie was nowhere to be seen, which isn't all that concerning, but what was concerning was the fact that Natalie had left her phone. And for a young woman in this day and age, your phone is practically glued to your hand.
Yeah.
But what really made him call the police? His own 9mm Glock handgun was missing.
Oh, shit, man.
So just a little bit ago, my girlfriend got a protection order against this man who's been stalking her for quite some time. And I came home and she's missing, and all of the stuff here, I don't understand it. It's not like her. She's supposed to be waiting for me. Man that we have the protection order against is Shawn Schwartz, and he's been threatening to come hunting for her and all this stuff.
He called Natalie's mom, Rose, to ask her if she had spoken to her, and she said she hadn't, but she did have a missed call from her daughter at around 2 p.m.
I've been in contact with her all day.
And all this because she just tried to be a kind person. See, this is what ruins people. You know how many people out there want to be nice, want to be kind, but because of stuff like this and bad experiences, scared the fuck out of them to even want to be nice. It's awful. It's stupid. If someone is just trying to be nice, you just let them fucking be nice to you and then move on with your fucking day. I just don't understand. You're having a hard go, and I get whenever you're having a hard go, any kind of niceties or anything like that can be misconstrued. But if they're physically looking at you and telling you, look, that's not how it is. I don't want nothing like that. I just want to be friendly towards you. For one, to try to help you feel a little bit better, to help fill my cup. You know what I mean? I want my cuppeth to runneth over. Just let me be nice. But people out there, they'll either take advantage of your niceness or take advantage of you because you're nice. Like, fuck that. That's fucked up. And that ruins a lot of people. And in some instances kills poor young ladies like this. Guarantee it.
So the next test I got from her was someone's at the door.
Does Natalie have any mental health issues?
She's tried to commit suicide a number of times.
Okay, so she's sending that text message saying somebody's at the front door.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't been able to get a hold of her since.
Yeah.
So when police and Natalie's family got to the apartment, fearing the worst, with the knowledge of Natalie's stalker, Shawn, and just having put a restraining order in place less than a week ago, everyone figures it's an open and shut case. Shawn is taking out some revenge on Natalie. All fingers. We're pointing at Shawn, right? Obviously. Stalker,
100%.
weird obsessed stalker, yada yada
My
yada.
finger's pointing
she
at him.
Tries to get rid of him.
I'm in the wrong, ain't I? I'm gonna be really, really angry, Mike, if it wasn't the dude I think it was. 'Cause I was like, this whole time you've made me think it was the dude I thought it was. And now you're starting to make me think it wasn't the dude I thought it was, and that's fuck, bud. Damn it.
But when police picked up Shawn, he has a pretty solid alibi. He was on his friend's couch all morning.
Did you leave the house at all for the rest of Wednesday?
No, I'm gonna put some of your people here. Not you in specific, but people's here.
Okay. So then you go to sleep at the apartment that night? Wake up Thursday morning at the apartment? Okay. Let's talk about Thursday. What goes on Thursday?
The same thing. Never really didn't go anywhere.
Stayed at the apartment all day?
I was there all day.
Okay.
I just wish you didn't have to waste your time on me.
And we're only looking to you for help. That's why we're here, so we don't think you're a waste because you know her.
Thank goodness.
He seemed genuinely concerned for Natalie's well-being and he in fact thought she was still out of town for the holidays. He'd also been staying away because of the restraining order. He had been obeying the order. The police had no reason to keep him, and so he was released.
Okay, the Broomfield Police Department just got a hold of me. Natalie Bollinger is missing. If you know her, the phone number for the Broomfield Police Department is 303-464-5858. I'm gonna post up some pictures here. Please help find her, please. I don't. Please help.
Oh shit.
However, all hope to find Natalie safe and alive were crushed the very next day, when at around 1:43 p.m., police discovered a body in Adams County about an hour outside of Broomfield. Given it being just 24 hours since her disappearance, it was quickly determined that the body was indeed Natalie Bollinger.
Coroner confirms the body found last Friday is that of 19-year-old Natalie Bollinger. Just how she died is still under investigation, but deputies want to talk to anyone who may have information on Bollinger's whereabouts after 1 p.m. on December 28th.
Her body was
beautiful
reportedly
young
found
lady
in the bush by a dairy farm. Autopsy revealed she was killed by a single gunshot wound to the head, and toxicity reports showed a lethal amount of heroin in her system at the time of her death.
My God.
No gun was found at the scene, and Joey's gun was still missing. Before police could even announce the discovery, Natalie's father, Ted, had put a public post on Facebook that his daughter had been murdered, and it was clear who was responsible. Shawn Schwartz, of course. I mean, if we're honest here, I'd be looking at Shawn too. I think
looking
everybody
at him.
would be. Tunnel vision was a real clear
Fuck.
at present thing. Immediately. As it would be. Who else?
See, I'm glad that, Mike is looking at him like that too. It makes me feel better about my stupidity because I know I'm about ready to have my own foot so deep in my mouth that I'm going to be shitting out my own toenails. Fuck. It was the boyfriend, wasn't it? We ain't heard nothing about the twin either. Isn't this the one with the twin? Doesn't she have What happened to the twin? I'm so confused on everything, Mike.
Else would have done something
Did I do it?
to her, other than the guy who was, problems and is a stalker.
We don't have anybody who was either talking with her through social media or through text or in person or on the telephone.
Family reported the teen missing on Thursday, December 28th. The following day, a body was discovered off a rural road in Adams County.
Damn,
we
that's
really
hard.
didn't have a whole lot of information. We were still actually even trying to come up with a name, a way of trying to identify who she was.
A Facebook post Bollinger made just 1 week before her disappearance fueled a firestorm of speculation on social media. The post was a public warning about a man she said had been stalking her for years.
We have talked to him, and again, not ready to call anybody a suspect.
Shawn, however, maintained his innocence. He may have some mental health issues, but he swore he was no killer. He took to his favorite pastime, posting on social media for anyone to hear. He said over and over again he had zero involvement, and the continued suspicion of him was a witch hunt. His online activity was an ongoing concern of many. However, the police had zero evidence against him to arrest him, so they did the next best thing. They arrested him under a mental health act, putting him on 72-hour surveillance. During this time, he resisted arrest and assaulted a police officer, which led to him getting injured. He was, however, released on January 10th, with a pending court date for his assault on the officer, but he would be cleared on all counts of any involvement in Natalie's murder.
A lot about Natalie. You're going to have the police department because that's confidential information to them. Also, I've been instructed not to speak to y'all, but I got a few more fingers for you.
Well, do you know what happened to her?
No. You know who does?
Tell me.
How would I know? What happened to Natalie? What do you guys know? All I know is from Facebook Messenger, and I hate Facebook.
What did Facebook Messenger say?
It doesn't matter. You need to get a hold of the police and talk to them.
Well, apparently you are of interest of this her case, so why were you a suspected interest in this case?
I was not a suspect. I was a person of interest, and I heard that. I saw it on a news report. I have not yet heard that from the police. Now, if you guys would like to, you can go contact the Broomfield Police Department and you can ask them for whatever information that you feel is pertinent.
His obsession and rants continue online to this day, but police were solid in the belief he was not the killer.
I'm gonna start with 2016. Alright, so I'd known who Natalie and Alicia were for, well, since they were about 13, I suppose. We hung out with...
Which led them back to square one. On January 17th, 2018, almost 3 weeks after Natalie's murder, the police then started going through all her internet activity, social media activity, text messages, all of that stuff, all of the stuff she'd been doing in the days leading up to her murder. They found a number of text messages going back and forth to a number she didn't have saved in her phone, all from the same day, the day she disappeared. And all those messages had been deleted. 111 of them. Enter in one Joseph Lopez.
111 text messages in one day? Yeah. What the fuck? My fingers would fall off.
Not much could be found about Joseph. He was a 22-year-old father and a manager at the classic Italian eatery Domino's. Co-workers said he was a kind, compassionate person. He
I like
managed the
Domino's.
Doms, he munched on some za.
I love
However,
Domino's,
co-workers
actually.
said Joseph Lopez, he was thrown up at work. He was puking his guts up in the bathroom on December 30th, so he really must have been eating their pizza. This was just a day after Natalie's body was found, and he ended up going home early.
Shit.
Seemed pretty upset about the news. Now, it's not believed they knew each other, or it wasn't at the time. He was just a sensitive soul. He called in sick 3 days after that, saying it's some kind of virus. No one, though, seemed to think he was acting any differently or changed other than that. So police tracked the messages between him and Natalie around the time of her disappearance, and they went and paid him a visit on February 8th. They went and paid him a visit at his place of work. When the police went in there, he immediately said, I know why you're here. I know why you're here to see me. He willingly went to the station, the police station with these officers, and he says, it's about that girl on Craigslist, isn't it? Why, yes. Yes, it is. Tell us more. Yes, the girl on Craigslist. That thing. Why don't you go ahead and tell us your version of events, my man?
What I'm thinking this is all about is someone I was talking to over on Craigslist. I was just on there, looking for pen pals.
As I said, he brought up Natalie, not the police. So goes his first version of events. He started by saying he would often scroll Craigslist and happened to be in the Women Seeking Men section and came across a post that, according to Lopez, stated, "Can you put a hit out on yourself? I need someone to do this for me. I'm not trying to be saved. This is not a cry for help. I've made this decision. I don't need to be talked down. I just want someone to do it for me. I'm seriously asking, this isn't a fucking game. I just need help doing it." The post, made by Natalie, seemingly directly after her boyfriend left for work that morning, as the post time has been stated at 6:25 a.m. This was where the start of the text conversation between Lopez and Natalie began.
What the fuck is wrong with this little hooker? Why the fuck you want to take a hit out on yourself? Love yourself, motherfucker. Walk into the bathroom, look in the mirror, and give yourself a big ol' hug back. You are special. You can do this. And then start your day. You deserve love. Just repeat it. You deserve love. You deserve love. What? What?
Drew me to what she had posted it was very weird.
Do you recall kind of what that said that got your attention?
Well, the title itself just said, I'm thinking about putting a hit on myself. So my first thought was, okay, someone obviously needs help and hasn't been getting the help that they need. Being the type of person that I am, I will do anything to help someone at least stay alive. My first thought was, I really want to help this girl. So after a little bit, I was like, I'm not getting anywhere. Let's see if I can convince her to meet up with me and see what happens.
Joseph at first says he's a good guy. He came across this post that morning and he was like, oh boy, I gotta meet this person. I gotta talk him down off a ledge.
I went along with the role because I'm a very avid role player online.
How do you go about
taking the persona of a hitman, how do you take that role off?
It really fascinates me as a writer.
Yeah.
I have a character that's for the horror genre. His name is Aki. He's also just a psycho. You know, like he'll lure you in and that.
Bam.
Yeah.
All right.
She was asking me like, you know, how do you want to do it? Where do you want to go and stuff? And I didn't really give her an answer. You know, it was just real general because, you know, I wasn't really thinking about it. You know, I convinced her to, you know, meet up with me. So I went to her place and I picked her up and we went for a drive.
He went and he picked her up, you know, that afternoon.
Okay. I can see people out there being like, I can talk her out of this. I know what I'm doing. And trying this. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. That would be stupid, but I can see that. But at what point do you just say, fuck it? Take all that shit down to the police station and be like, hey, bitch going crazy. I want you to see where she's trying to get a hit on herself. You all need to do a motherfucking welfare check on this bitch, and you need to figure out what the fuck's going on with her. Why not do that? You have proof that she is trying to end herself by any means necessary, by having a hit taken out on her. But you don't feel that it's necessary for you to, I don't know, inform the police that this is happening. Are you serious? That would have been like if I'm okay. I will admit I'm the type of person to be like, do you really want to do this though? I mean, like, think of all the people you leave behind. Think of all the bullshit it's going to be. Think about how bad it's going to hurt everyone you fucking know. And if that don't work, I'm going to the motherfucking police. I'm going to the fucking hospital. I'm going to whatever crazy house I can find. I'm going to sit there and preach until someone fucking listens to me. Be like, look, I know you all can find out who she is, how to get there, and how to find her, and all this other bullshit. I'm just letting you know. She losing her fucking mind. She's trying to have a hit taken out on herself, and you all need to intervene. I don't know who the hell this motherfucker thinks he is, but he's not fucking Superman. He's not going to be able to save Lois Lane from jumping off that fucking building. He just needs to just inform someone who fucking can. Stick with pizza.
Just gonna take her for a drive around beautiful Broomsfield. Show her life is worth living. But what Natalie didn't know was that Joseph Lopez had a sick and twisted mind. And he had fantasized about killing somebody for a long ass time. And then he was licking his chops at the idea of, oh, you want me to kill you. Win-win.
Some Silence of the Lamb shit.
Said, of course. He said he picked up Natalie and they just drove around town just aimlessly, and she confided in him all of the reasons as to why she's come to the conclusion that she needs to, you know, forever sleep.
What are these
According
reasons?
to Lopez, it was boyfriend problems, mental health, and what we know now, a traumatic childhood all played a part. Plus, she was known to be a drugs user. Lopez said that Natalie got frustrated with him when...
I get it. Nobody should ever have to go through something like that. Not from childhood or anything else. Man, better help. We need to get some sponsorships up in this shit. We need some better help because I need some help. Like, this is ooh. I want to go back in time and change it to let's get traumatized. Because this is traumatizing the fuck out of me, bro. Like, this poor girl, my heart is breaking for her.
He was side-skirting the actual reason for their meetup, which was killing her.
What did she think you were there for?
She thought I was responding to the ad.
In what way?
Like, she thought I was going to be the one to do it.
To take her out?
Drove around for a little bit, you know, like 2-3 hours, I can't remember exactly, and we just talked. Eventually, I think she either got fed up with me, you know, because I guess she was pretty serious about what was going on. And, you know.
She then demanded he drop her off at her apartment, and she said, which he said he did willingly. He thought he had saved her.
And she said, you know, just drop me off here. That's last time I saw her, really. It sucks that it turned out the way it did.
But the police were no dum-dums. They had done their homework. They knew that Joseph Lopez had been to the place where her body was found, not near the dairy farm, tracking his phone signals. You were at the murder scene. What gives? Guy was full of shite, and he'd just been found out.
We're here to try to figure out what happened to her, all right? And I think that you know. There's some things I think you're leaving out, bro. Okay? Just ask right now that you just come forward, bro. Can you get everything off your chest, okay?
When they outed him, he broke down. Now the story was yes, he had been there, but he had only watched her do it. He had begged her not to, but she ignored him and shot and killed herself anyway.
She shoots herself before I can try to reach it up. She just sat down and she put it like this. Then she fired.
Joseph then fled with the gun, which apparently was a payment agreement. He's like, you kill me, you get the gun. And then he also took her purse. But then what Joseph Lopez also didn't know was that the autopsy and the medical examiner could confirm that Natalie had not shot herself. They could tell she had been shot at from a distance. Somebody else had shot her. So he comes back with his third and final story. He's like, all right, guys, listen, I was joking around the previous 2 times. That was me just playing. You know, now I'll tell you the actual truth. When I said I was telling the truth before, I wasn't. Now I am. You can believe me this time.
I'd shoot him in his fucking face, bro.
He begged her to change her mind, but she insisted on being killed, execution style, on her knees. According to Lopez, he obliged her request, hands shaking, and while not even looking, he pulled the trigger. He then said he fled with the purse and the gun, and police could confirm this much as they were found in his trunk still. He also told the police he had no idea about any drugs use and swore to the police he had no idea she'd gotten high and he did not witness it. Given the stories he's told so far, who knows what's true though. I mean, if you're going to confess to murder, what's little drugs use? So why wouldn't he talk about that? But remember, she was found with a lethal amount of heroin in her system. Since Natalie did have a history of drugs use and selling, it seemed no one questioned it any further. The police also confirmed that the post he was claiming he saw, the Craigslist post that Natalie posted, that did in fact exist. He wasn't bullshitting. She posted it looking for a killer to kill her, and then deleted it within 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, she posted it and deleted it, and in that time, Joseph Lopez saw it. He was quick enough to see it and to respond to it within 2 minutes at like 6:30 a.m. What was he doing browsing at that time? Like, what are the chances that
Maybe
an actual wannabe killer, somebody who would dreamt and been obsessed with the idea of killing somebody, had seen it within 2 minutes? It's incredibly tragic and disturbing. What if Natalie had deleted it by the time he'd scrolled by? There's a lot of what ifs in this story. Natalie, she had a history of drugs use, of depression, and so in that 2 minutes she had posted this and probably just kind of almost lashing out. The worst possible person in the world saw it and responded to it.
Now an arrest in the murder of a young woman. Natalie Bollinger's case is one that we have followed very closely. Deputies in Adams County accused Joseph Lopez of shooting her in the head and then leaving her in a ditch.
Joseph Lopez eventually confessed to killing Natalie, but claims it was because she asked him to through a Craigslist ad. That's what we're hearing right now, and the affidavit says Lopez told detectives he found Natalie through a Craigslist ad titled something to the effect of, "I want to put a hit on myself."
The same day he was taken in for questioning, he was also arrested for the murder of Natalie Bollinger. He shortly accepted a plea deal and pled guilty to second degree in exchange for a lesser sentence and a chance for parole. In December 2018, he was officially sentenced to 48 years. It will be 2066 when his sentencing is up.
Hell yeah.
Joseph Lopez will be just over 70 years of age.
It was a very emotional morning here. That courtroom was full of Natalie's friends and family. Now, Natalie's father, Ted Bollinger, was able to speak in court this morning while in custody for a parole violation. Bollinger told the judge he did not agree with the plea deal offered to Lopez because a deal was not justice. He also said that neither he nor his side of the family were told about the deal at the earliest date possible. The judge denied his request to continue the hearing because the prosecution says they made several attempts to contact the Bollinger family.
The Bollinger family had no say in this deal. This is no justice. I look at this deal as a deal with the devil. Natalie Marie Bollinger was a person. She had a life. Her life mattered more than you will ever know.
After several emotional statements from Natalie's family, the judge gave Lopez the maximum sentence under his plea deal, 48 years in prison with 5 years parole.
Natalie, somebody grew up with a lot of trauma, and she tried to find these different ways of trying to help and heal, and in the end, she just couldn't beat it. Which makes it then just all the more tragic that, like, she posted it and then deleted it, asking somebody to kill her within 2 minutes. She obviously posted it and regretted it immediately. But a twisted killer saw it. Twisted wannabe killer, an actual killer, it turns out, because he became one, saw it, responded to it, they texted. They had 111 text messages between them, and eventually they met up, and God only knows what happens. Well, what happened is that Natalie ended up dead. Still so weird, though, that he, of all people, saw that. Makes you wonder if he had Google Alerts set up or something. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. I hope you enjoyed this whole video or found it interesting, at the very least. If you're looking for some more of That Chapter, please check out the That Chapter podcast, which is available on all podcast platforms.
Damn, Mike, you did not have to make me, like, laugh like that. At the very end, bro. This was a serious video, Mike. I had a straight face the whole time, buddy. Oh my Lord, that's just craziness. Like, why? That poor child, to just think that what the fuck, bro? Like, I really don't. I don't know what to say in this situation. Like, I mean, I can say I would understand the feeling like everything's just shit. I can understand her feeling like there's no way out of the situation that she is in. I get that. But I just don't get, she was so young. Yeah, life might have been handing you shit after shit now, but you had a whole lifetime ahead of you where everything could have worked out. Poor child. Too young to have all that pressure on her shoulders. Damn. All right. I really enjoyed today's story, though. Like, that was a good story. And awful ending. Good story. All right. Really enjoyed today's video. If you all enjoyed today's video as much as I did, please go down there, leave a thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. While you're down there, go on over and slap that subscribe button. Become part of the Built 5000 Nation. We do some crazy stuff here. If you want to know when that crazy stuff happens, ding that bell and turn on all notifications. It doesn't usually work for me. I don't know why. Like, and I don't just say that. Like, a lot of people be like, hey, I got dinged. But a lot of people's like, I've never been dinged a day in my life. And it's like, man, I just wish I could just give you that ding. That ding you deserve. You know what I mean? Like, I want to get that. Okay, that just started. That went weird. Okay, I'm out. And think, this stuff goes on the internet. Why? Why do I do that to myself? As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, we're going to have some talks about this one on the Discord. I already feel it.